An average individual spends about at least 20 years, including primary and high school as well as university. I spent 3 to 4 years in university studying my BCom accounting and then an advanced certificate in accounting sciences. I mean, that's the typical or what is expected everyone to have, the qualifications that they should have, the education that they should acquire. But then after that, what happens? People get into the work environment, they are totally occupied by 9 to 5, hustling, making more money. After getting more money, how am I going to get more money? Developing an insatiable amount of hunger for wealth, becoming rich, and you know, all the talk, if not about 90% or even more, people talk about investing in real estate, investing in high yield savings account, investing in Bitcoin, investing in stocks, mutual fund, pension fund. I mean, a very small amount, like 1%, 2%, these are not accurate, just assumptions. Very small amount, considerably small amount, speaks less on investing in yourself. I mean, it seems so um, immaterial that I'm spending money to get this certificate because it makes me a better person, be a person who communicates more with other people. We all assume that all the knowledge that we need and need for survival outside there is acquired during our formal, I'm just going to call it the formal tertiary years that we acquire. So I'm here to talk about like your self-investment, being intentional and not being naive, thinking that you already know all. I mean, the world is very big. Think about it. I'm Natasha. I did accounting, pursued life coaching, got a certificate in that. I know the more you know, the less you know that you know. I don't know if that makes sense. But the more you know, the more you realize that you actually know but a little fraction of what is out there. And once you realize that, you will unlock an insatiable appetite for knowledge, for growing. So making sure that you get to that point is very important. Why am I saying this? Because the assumption that just your education tertiary is enough to live out there is inaccurate, because there are a lot of um, skills that one requires to be able to function, to be able to deal with setbacks, to be able to deal with that little voice that's telling you that this is too much for you, you can't handle this. You need extra knowledge outside of that you get at school. And to pursue this, I decided it started when I thought to myself that so that's step number one. Let's put this in steps. So step number one, from my case, my scenario, I started by thinking about what am I passionate about? That is talking to people. I'm passionate about listening, right? But then I just know how to listen. By pursuing life coaching and NLP practitioner certification, I then expanded that knowledge to intentionally listening. When you listen, trust me, you are not going to be able to listen continuously for 1 hour. You have to be mindful of your listening, not just listening, empathetic listening, and not just that, extending it further to an understanding and putting yourself in the shoes of that person who is communicating to you. I wouldn't have known that if I just ended by, okay, I just want to listen to people. So from that, you can see that pursuing your own personal investment in an area that you're interested in, you don't just randomly start pursuing different areas. Trust me, you are just going to end up not making good financial decisions in the sake of investing in yourself. It's something that you have to sit down, think about, plan, and then execute. I will post another video kind of speaking on how you go through this process, but going through the process of self-investment is imperative for yourself, for the people that are around you, and for your environment. New or old, trust me, you need this. Then on top of that, let's talk about the whole process that you have to go through. So first of all, number one, you will sit down with yourself. Emphasis on yourself. It is very easy to get carried away in what the next person is doing. It's working for them. You will just go through a process where you start being an enthusiastic optimistic, and then you get to an informed pessimist from uninformed optimist. So you don't want to go through that whole process of, it's very, let me just say, you're not getting anywhere. There's no progress that comes from that. You need to sit with yourself, think about what are you good at, right? If it's something that you have to invest in to make yourself a better person, to actually get to a point where you can distinguish yourself, differentiate yourself from the crowd, it is a good start. Start from there. And when you go from there, you then decide, can I monetize this? Then you're speaking to diversifying your income stream, which is a whole lot of different topic. But this is another way you can actually leverage and take advantage of that which you're already good at, not trying to acquire something that is outside of your capabilities and starting from scratch. It's a bit difficult. It's a good road, but it's a bit difficult. That shouldn't stop you. But right here, I'm talking about self-investment and growing that which you already have, right? From there, you then go to your planning. You have to assess your resources, that is your time, your support, your finances. Most of these, if you decide to take a course, most of these courses have payment plans. Of course, that's something you consider, because maybe your pool of funds or your pay is not enough to make that very big of an investment, right? You can make an investment in yourself that is in small sums that can compound into something big, something impactful, something seemingly impractical and ridiculous. But trust me, compounding effect of that 1% progress rule, which is our third point, knowing that not every step is supposed to be humongous. It's not supposed to have a very big impact the very moment you start. The 1% progress rule emphasizes the importance of taking small but consistent steps that will lead to an enormous amount of change or progress or growth. So keeping in mind that this is a start, what I'm doing here is the foundation that's going to make everything else stick. So keep that in mind, and then you'll be able to keep that motivation throughout the whole process up until you finish your self-investment. The last point that is very important is to know that it is going to take time. Nothing that involves a considerable investment. I mean, when you invest in real estate, I mean, you're not gonna go there and then already buy today and then you already have a house. I don't know why we expect ourselves to do things that we ourselves don't expect other things we invest in to happen. You invest in a bond today. Are you expecting it to be worth $1 million in one day? $1 million in 2 months? No. But the same concept should be learned to apply to yourself. When you invest in yourself, do not expect yourself to change within 2 months. It's not practical. And if you expect that of yourself, it's just going to demotivate you, and then you're going to stop, and then it's going to be a whole process, right? So make sure that you know it is a process, it is going to take time, and it is going to take a lot of patience. It's going to look like it's not going, it's going to look like it's going, and then it doesn't go. Just know that this process overall at the end is going to take time. I started my coaching practice last year in around June, right? Took me a couple of months to complete it, and then more couple of months to be able to finish my practicals, and then 2-3 months to get my certification, and then I started practicing. I did not get a client soon after I got that certificate. Of course, it's a bit demoralizing for a couple of times, but I know I went through this course for a personal purpose and for me to have a purpose moving forward. It took a lot of effort, a lot of marketing, a lot of progress. It's a whole process. That's one thing you need to know, that it is going to take time. Be graceful with yourself, keep being consistent, and the result will definitely show itself at the end. So I hope this video was helpful to you to be able to start investing in yourself by sitting down with yourself. Think of what you want to invest yourself in. Is it gaining a communication skill. It might not be a certificate, but for example, you can have a coaching session with me. I would love to improve my communication. I would love to improve my relationship with my husband, with my wife. Can I pay? That is the investment. What do I pay the investment for a couple of sessions for me to be a whole different person in this area? Now you know that you invested yourself in communication. Whenever you go somewhere, you're confident with your communication. You'll be able to communicate in a way that the next person will understand, and in the way that they'll understand you. And there will be a negotiation. If it's a negotiation in the relationship, there's a conflict, it is resolved amicably. If it is public speaking and you are not so confident, you have some limiting beliefs that you're experiencing, that is personal investment. Believe you me, investment in yourself is not always by earning a certificate. Gaining a skill is an investment. And by gaining, let me just give you for an example a ripple effect for investing in yourself. Let's say I do not pursue a course, I just pursue an individual who is, for example, myself, but another person. I pursue an individual who is knowledgeable in a certain area, for example, public speaking. I go there, I get a couple of sessions, improve, remove limiting beliefs, enhance my imaginary visionary skills, build a confidence that is not shakable. Imagine the effect that that is going to have when I speak in front of CEOs. I'm going to speak in front of presenting my business plan, presenting my business proposal. You're not stuttering, you're confident, you're well prepared. That can have a considerable amount. That is nothing to do with a certificate. So keep in mind that when you consider self-investment, think about even buying a book. That is self-investment. I am reading psychology, the psychology of money, psycho-cybernetics. I'm continuously investing in myself in ways that will improve my knowledge, improve my communication, improve my understanding, and getting to a point where, for example, I get to a conflict with someone else. I do not take that conflict and then totally make it all about myself. It defines my personality, and then in the next room I am projecting a different personality that is sorely determined on a conversation that I had before. That's a whole investment that makes a difference in your life. So from now onwards, I'm urging you to invest in yourself in any way possible, be it reading a book, getting a session with a coach, getting into a new certificate that is like 6 months or 3 months. Start investing in yourself, and you will notice a considerable improvement in yourself, your confidence, your personality. Even it can even spread out to your income, which is sorely dependent on your interactions with people. So have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, do follow, like, and subscribe so that you can get a notification for any other video that I'll be posting from today going forward. Have a good day.